Hello, Vasco. A new servant has appeared. Let me tell you, her personality is really weird. A bit lovely, a bit creepy. Especially her voice sometimes makes me feel a little chill. And she also has a weird kid with a few obvious flaws, but extremely powerful. Yeah, she's Van Gogh. We seek for runners on the books now. Van Gogh replaced Abigail as having the second lowest attack and second high HP of the class Super Rare servants, possessing a triple quick setup and get the usual Forerunner passive, provides an extra 2 critical stars each turn. She will be a good choice for masters who are running the quick team along with Double Scuddy. I believe there will be some changes in Fate Granddaughter meta. Okay, now let's go. Her first skill, Imaginary Number Art, will confuse you a little. When activated, Art will apply Guts to herself, 1 time in 5 turns, and also apply 3 curse stack, which costs her 300 damage per turn and lasts for 10 turns. However, this problem can be solved easily. By activating the third skill, Beacon Soul will remove 1 curse stack when using quick cards to attack, help increase all enemy gauge by 10% at max level. This charging effect like this is based on the number of curse stack on Van Gogh, make her become a unique servant. The Beacon Soul also increases all attack by 10%. Increase attack up to 30% like waiver and critical star gather rate for 1 chosen ally. So you can apply this skill to a main damage dealer or even apply for Van Gogh to deal damage per second. The skill will remove curse effects from all allies and post them to Van Gogh herself. Then her quick attacks will remove her curse, charge her NB bar, as well as apply her own attack buffs by 10% in exchange. I recommend you to upgrade maximum this X Beacon Soul first before 2 other skills. The second skill, the Yellow House, applies curse to all enemies, including Van Gogh, helps your team dodge 1 attack like Scuddy's NB. Restore HP for all allies for 5 turns. And most importantly, decrease quick resist for all enemies by 20%. This is a clearly message to let Van Gogh and Double Scuddy in the same team to destroy everything getting in your way. Although this skill curses your whole team, but that's an advantage rather than a disadvantage due to Van Gogh's 2 other skills. Finally, let's take a look at her Noble Phantasm. Starry Night will do a lot of stuff when activated. It begins by inflicting terror status on the enemies, has 60% chance to stun for 1 turn per turn. Then this debuff will dispel once activated successful. You can expect periodic stuns over the course of multiple turns when using Van Gogh. Next, Starry Night will apply offensive buff for all allies by increasing critical strength by 50% and giving 30% attack up when overcharged at MP1. Van Gogh also gains 10 critical stars per turn along with her Forerunner passive, and Command Cast Triple Quick make your team deal reliable crit damage and quickly charge her full MP. Besides, Starry Night also increases addition 100% critical strength for servants with the entity of the Outer Realm, which makes Van Gogh become a potential DPS candidate with tons of buff applied to herself. Just remember to use her NP and her unique skills when available. You can use Van Gogh as a supporter when she possesses both offensive and defensive utility. She provides 20% quick resist down and 20% defense down. Increase attack up to 60% and critical damage to 50%, and the crit boost will jump up to 150% when supporting her favored allies. Besides, she also has some useful defensive skills to ensure survival of your team and reject her NP quickly. Based on the Yellow House, you will agree with me that Van Gogh is absolutely suitable for quick servants. especially when paired with double Skadi in the third support place. I'd recommend Kentucky Rider, Okita Saber, Kama or Jack operating this system to push the damage up to a higher level. However, Vanguard also be a main damage dealer when working as a DPS with tons of buffs applied to herself. Double Vanguard is also a good idea you should try. By this way, both Vanguard can gain up to 300% critical strength to destroy this world. Merlin a Waver is also a substitute choice to work with Vanguard. If you don't get Skadi yet, with the single buster card, an amount of critical stars, and her offensive kit, she could still deal a reliable damage. Or if you want to solo any Berserker boss, Vanguard can also complete this homework as well based on her survival tools. Okay, if you find my video useful, then hit my like button. If you have any idea to share with me or any questions, feel free to leave your comment below. I will reply them one by one. For me, one subscription, one appreciation. Thank you and let's go and hear our channel.
サーバント・ポーリナ、見ての通りゴッホです。一緒に世界を塗り替えましょうね。なんちゃって